glad to be 1-0. A lot of teams in the country aren't. And so I think we made it through the game relatively healthy. We played a lot of players, which was good. Even once the game got out, even before the game got out of hand, we were rotating a lot of guys in, especially on defense and special teams. So I'm excited to get to this film, to be able to see some kids that had not played a lot to play. So I think the storyline would probably be the defense, the first team defense, and the defensive line. You know, a lot of question marks there coming in, and it seems like that they made a bunch of plays up front. So at the end of the day, it's 35-0 at halftime, and we're 1-0, and we'll get ready for a good team a long ways from here next week.
Did Marquise Lee validate some of what you've been saying about him in the offseason?
We didn't with the 2 drops in the first half. Those are critical plays. 2-point conversion and the deep V route there should have been a big play. But obviously he made spectacular plays, starting with the first play of the game. But as he knows, our expectations are higher than the way he played today.
Coach, how has Marquise developed from last season to this, and what particular areas has he shown improvement?
Well, I think today showed what I really thought was going to happen with him. Just watching from year 1 to year 2, he's so much bigger and stronger now, and he made so many plays for us last year as the season got towards the end. Once he was starting to get comfortable in the rotations and playing, and he's even better now. And you see it. He's stronger. He's more physical. The first guy rarely ever tackles him. And then you saw in special teams how unique he is. You know, that's about as fast as a guy can look, I think.
How about his field vision and how he reads the game?
Yeah, it has great vision around him, and you see him make cuts when people are coming on the side, and that's why I think he'll be the best one ever when it's all said and done. We've been saying that for a year now.
How would you assess Matt's performance tonight?
I thought Matt did really well. I really do. You know, he's a couple drops away from some big-time numbers in the first half there. So I thought he did really well for the most part. He didn't get greedy with the balls downfield. The one to the tight end down the middle that we caught, he forced a little bit. But outside of that, I thought he managed the game and managed the hype really well. You know, the concern would be these guys when you're front runner for the Heisman and you come back all these things that you screwed up by trying to do too much. And I thought he did. You know, that was a big challenge for him this week, and I thought he did a really good job.
How do you think Silas Redd did today?
Well, the fumble obviously was disappointing to see, but I thought he did well for a first game, getting in there, get comfortable, nice touchdown run. But we got a lot of work to do, and I think our players know that too.
Any different being out there knowing that you're playing for a bowl now?
No, not at all. Never thought about it. Didn't have anything to do with going down the tunnel, preparations. It didn't have any difference at all.
Can you describe that first
with
play?
The run game, do you think, what kind of has to happen to get the run game where you'd like to see it?
Well, we're not going to win a ton of games if we're not balanced, and so you know, we can't do what we did today versus some other teams that'll be on our schedule. So we need to be more balanced. We need to be more efficient in the run game. And the numbers show that. You know, we were not very efficient. We were big little with the long run and a lot of little runs in there, including not making. I think we were 4 of 10 combined on 3rd and 4th downs in the first half. You know, that's not going to win a ton of games.
What's the decision to put Morgan in so late? Are you doing like you're sharing carries with Silas and Curtis mainly?
Yeah, pretty much. You know, we went to DJ as a third guy. We didn't go to him earlier because there weren't many carries. You know, we were throwing the ball so much, and we weren't getting much rhythm with the run game. That there weren't. It's not like the other guys had 15 carries each, you know, at half or something. So that's why we probably went to him a little later than normal.
That first play, was that something that you thought could break open if things worked right?
Well, I mean, it was kind of taking off of last year's last game. You know, if we can get the ball to 2 and 9 in space, we're going to be pretty good. And you know, that was just a way to get a quick out to number 9 right off the bat, and out to the field with a softer corner and see if he can make the guy miss.
Were you especially pleased with your defensive line's play, considering the fact that they only had 3, maybe 4 returning starts in total among those 4 guys?
Yeah, and West not to play. I thought that, if you go back to what the defensive lineman that played today, that's a lot different than the way we ended last year here. Nick Perry leaves early, Devon Kennard out, Wes Horton out for the game. So I was very proud of those guys. And like I said, I thought that was really the story of the day.
Can you talk about Breslin and Williams in particular?
Yeah, both those guys really showed up, really flashed. You never know till you go back and see the film how they completely played, but they both flashed and really made some big plays.
Well, did something happen to Andre Adari in the first half when he was unavailable to kick off?
Yeah, I was told Andre was out, and he was out. I'm not going to get into the specifics of it. And then he actually jumped back in there later on. And so the 2 points we weren't trying to do. We did not come into the game thinking we were going for 2 in those situations at all. That was completely after our kicker was out. And so we just figured that was a better percentage chance than going to our backup kicker. So there was definitely no disrespect meant by it at all. We didn't make him anyway, so.
Why has it been so difficult the last 3 years, that play?
Which play?
Converting 2-point leads.
I don't know. We dropped one of them, and the other one, our fullback got rushed outside, and we missed the throw.
What was the decision to continue attempting 2-point conversion?
Because the kicker wasn't available.
Lane, do you have any particular opinion about Hawaii's number 29, their punter with the Australian rule style?
Rugby?
Yeah.
Yeah, it made it difficult for us. We couldn't get a return going. Nickel had won, but it was difficult because there was no hang time on them. And I know that they obviously did a lot of work to do it both ways, right and left. And it was difficult to deal with because it's so abnormal.
One more for Coach. Robert said he'd give the offense a C+ or B- tonight. Do you agree with that? What do you think about that?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's probably about right. Somewhere in the C range. We didn't have negative plays for the most part, which was good, to sack late with the backups, but Matt had to make some plays that he shouldn't have to make there, with some pressure. So, like I said, we got a lot of work to do.